let's go ahead and bring in. He's a champion of independent media and fighting both parties. And he's run for office as a non-party affiliate, which we love here on the Homeless Left. And he's always, I would say, the king of disruption. Please welcome back to the show, Jose Vega.
All right. Howdy.
There he is. Jose,
dude,
welcome.
I'm going to let you know I'm calling ICE right away, and I'm sending him over to you. I'm going to send you back to El Salvador and one of Bukele's prison where you belong. Okay? That's what they're going to do to you if you keep disrupting these politicians all the time.
Yeah,
You do it to the left politicians, the Democratic politicians that really aren't left. They just occupy the space of the left. Then you'll be okay. Do that to a Republican, Jose, and see what happens.
Well, I've always wanted to go back to my ancestry roots. You know, I'm Salvadoran, but
not where they're gonna send you, pal. There ain't no roots over there. Those are American roots that
I did not
want IDF roots that he picked up. That is, by the way, IDF contracts for the military in El Salvador. A lot of people don't talk about that.
What are you talking about?
News?
Don't say that. Are you serious? Is that
know
true?
that the IDF has contracts. They're training a lot of Salvadorian military people. They have like a contract for 10 years. There are IDF soldiers in your homeland right now.
Why would you say that? Why would you tell me that? Now I have to do something about that. Oh my God.
Let's go get Josh Hawley. Let's go get these Republicans and say, you okay with the IDF having contracts in El Salvador? Why is that okay? Can China have a contract with one of these countries over there? Would you be okay with that? No, they shit an egg roll, but it's okay for them to do, IDF on in. Yeah.
You're killing me here. You're killing me.
I haven't given my letter of resignation to myself to quit my country, quit my company, my work over here, to go work for Jose Vega yet, because I got to take care of my mom. But if I did, I might consider quitting myself and go work for you full time, because I think that, Matt said you're the champion, a champion on social media. No, you're a champion of disruptor out there. And every single time I see your stuff, I say to myself, I can never quit you, Jose Vega. You're doing some amazing work exposing these people out there.
Well, thank you. Thank you. If you work for me full time, all I can say is the pay is shit. The quality of life isn't so great, but you can look at yourself in the mirror every night and be proud of who you are. That's right. So, and you might have to not pay car insurance for a bit, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, right.
So, anyway, thanks for having me on, guys.
Absolutely. And Jose, we wanted to check in with you. We know you ran an amazing campaign, and you got some eyes on you that maybe didn't know how bad it was in your district in New York. And I know you were going against the Zionist. What was it? Torres? What was the guy? Yeah. This guy,
Richie Torres. That's right.
Torres. Yeah. But you made a statement. You were loud, and I think you did some good stuff there, man. Like that. I hope you continue. Or do you have any? Because we're gonna get some stuff right now. I want to talk about the 100 days and where you're at with that on some of this stuff going on. But do you have any plans to have any new campaign in the near future, or anything? Or where are
my kickoff Vega 26 campaign is this Saturday.
Oh hell yeah!
In the Bronx. That's right. Yes, we're having a fundraiser.
Did I spoil the beans? Did you already?
No, I already. It's open secret. It's an open secret at this point. It's not like
for a while. People insider. I talked to Jose on the download, not just on shows.
Well, I had to kind of like take advantage of, because my interventions, they kind of like keep coming back up, recycling on the internet, and then they go viral again, and I don't get credit. But then people tag me, and then I get the credit. So it's like, well, yeah, I'm running. I need you to please support my campaign. So, obviously I'm going to.
Well, I have an idea I wanted to pitch to you, but, and the whole thing is that I didn't get a chance to talk about it, and maybe I will down the road. But I like the fact that you're looking healthy and losing some weight and getting ready for the campaign.
You noticed. Right? Thank you. Okay, great. I
have a whole appearance plan as your campaign manager, right?
Yeah. Check these guns out. Check these bad boys out.
You can see it on the face. I have an idea, right? Okay. I wanted to do this because I think this is so Jose Vega. I wanted to find a spot in your district where we can have a different Latin food from a different country each week, and then have you speak on how American imperialism is infested in that country, right? If we're talking about, if we want to talk to the people of Puerto Rico, right, about how all the vulture capitalists own that country, we can sit down with some Morocco's condulas, and you would wear a shirt from that region, right? because I think you see what I'm wearing right now. I think you got to find this look right over here and own it, because it's kind of like a Tony Soprano shirt that you would look good in, whatnot, and you know what I'm saying? You really connect.
Well, if you can be my personal, advisor on this stuff. I'm kind of in a weird, like, okay, I've lost about 25 pounds so far.
Yes.
So, and I'm replacing it with muscle, which is great. So I'm like, should I buy new clothes or should I keep going and then buy new clothes? But like, should I just buy clothes as I go?
No, you got to do. Listen, I got some of these. This is new. I bought it at the Goodwill for $5.
Very nice.
Soprano style. But I have. Listen, let's talk. I don't want to give away the strategy over here right now to everybody. But obviously, unfortunately, we have so many low-informed voters out there that we have to find a way to make it simple for them, right? So your appearances, you looking good, means a lot. It's like he looks the part. What the fuck that means? I'm glad that Jose Vega looks the part in your mind, but do you know his knowledge on what's going on, in the world, foreign policy wise, which will help him benefit his job, how he understands what's going on in his own community, that you always bring that. Oh, that's very nice. You're sending $1 billion to Israel. You know where we can use that, Richie Torres? Back here at home. We have buildings falling down. So it's the fact that a lot of people don't understand that our foreign policy is so connected to our domestic policy, and it makes a difference on what we can do and how we can give for ourselves and build our communities at home. When you don't have that money because you're spending over that spot all over there, people need to understand that, and you have a way of equating that. So I think that's really going to be beneficial on your campaign moving forward.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm with it all the way. If you want to come on board as an paid advisor, you're welcome to do so.
No matter what, I'd like to always continue to have the conversation with you, not just as a friend, and that we have unbelievable conversations, but it's just there's things and we can talk about, and that's the great thing about hanging out with Jose and Diane Sayre and his community and stuff. And I know a lot of people disagree with certain things, even to the point where they might not agree 100% on nuclear energy and stuff, that might share the same views as Diane. It's that you guys are so knowledgeable and you guys are talking about the right things that matter most. It's a peace policy, right? That's what it's all about, principled in peace. And that's so important. And every single time I'm with you guys, I learn something. You know what I'm saying? Even though you guys were wrong about Tulsi, wait a second.
Oh yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Let's move on.
Wait a second. I was
Are you ambushing me? What are you trying to do a gotcha right now? What is this? Yellow journalism? No.
We disagree on very few things. And here's the thing too, as well. Actually, there was a point last week, 2 weeks ago, when everybody was saying that it was Tulsi's the first one who came out and said, listen, this war with Iran, bad idea. Then all of a sudden, J.D. Vance was there and Peter Hegseth came aboard. So I got a Tulsi chat right here that they haven't kicked me out and they're letting me see, but they got to say, this is why. And almost, Jose Vega and Diane Sayre got to say, this is why. She was the voice in the room of reason. The aloha people say, you know what I'm saying? Like, that still has her negative points about her. I don't want to get into it. But for this moment right here, it almost makes sense where some of the people were going, see, Tulsi, even with her flaws, is better than anybody they would pick. She's the reason why they say no war with Iran right now.
Yeah, I'm still not happy with her, but at the same time, you're completely right about this point on Iran. It's a big, I was happy about that at least. The thing I'm not happy about is 'cause she's the ODNI, so she oversees all the intelligence agencies. So this thing that Kash Patel's doing with the January or the October 7th committee, it's she would have to be involved in that. She would have to know that that's going on and have to have signed off on that in some way or another, right? So it's it's not just Kash Patel's thing, which is completely stupid. And I think Kash Patel is this weird bug-eyed guy who needs to go, but so I'm not particularly thrilled with every aspect of the Trump. Well, I guess we're going to get into it with the first 100 days.
We'll get into that. And both you guys, we all learn from our mistakes. Jose, you've learned from Tulsi, and Craig, you've certainly learned from RFK Jr. So let's not forget that.
Oh yeah.
First of all, I have a get out of jail free card on that. I'm the one who asked him to stance on Israel Palestine before anybody else. So therefore, I should have a automatic, what do you call that? Mulligan for that. No matter what, I shouldn't get mad.
Hey, You
All
know
right, you
what?
told me so, bro. Whatever,
Listen,
dude.
we're all smarter and wiser from all of this. So I don't think we should be, we learn from
I
it.
have
We
my
don't-
Tulsi
just
time
don't-
too, as well,
yeah.
man.
Yeah. Well, look, this is what we do know. We know we've had 100 days of this guy that's the hero that came in to take on the deep state and make everything right. Yeah, unfortunately, we knew that there's no surprises for us. We knew this was all going to happen. But I want to start with the protest problem, because as we all know, this has been going on well before Trump came in. And this is just the most recent. This is all the time. We're seeing people get arrested everywhere for protesting for peace. It's the craziest concept. I never thought I'd have to explain this to people. They don't understand it. But this is just the most recent one we saw. This one just came out of Paris, but it just shows you this is everywhere. It's not just here. It's not a Trump thing. It's not a Biden thing. It's a Zionist problem, and it seems to be everywhere. Here, this one just was from last night or yesterday.
Les gars, 803 les gars sur lui. 803 les gars.
C'est journaliste. Vous avez une carte de presse? Oui, j'ai une carte de presse. Oui, elle est dans mon sac. Vous n'avez pas le droit de m'empêcher de filmer, monsieur. Non, mais je vous demande votre carte. Oui, je l'ai dans le sac, mais attendez, là, je suis en train de filmer ça. J'ai ma carte de presse.
This is for the crime of wanting children not to be blown to bits, because it might hurt the feelings of the people killing them, and we don't want to hurt their feelings. So that's why this is not apparently okay to have a Palestinian flag. Now, you guys think that that's it's only happening over there, not happening here? No, of course it's happening here. This is right. This is in our neck of the woods. This is USC. This just happened at USC. More arrests, dozens arrested at USC right here. This was the Texas one that was detained. We had this is okay. The story came out of Texas, but the police peacefully arrested student protesters. Well, that looked pretty peacefully at the USC on Wednesday, hours after the police at Texas University aggressively detained dozens of the latest clashes between law enforcement and those protesting. And they always call it the Israel-Hamas war. It's not a war when one side is getting annihilated and the other side is doing the annihilation. But okay. So this is still a nationwide problem. And I want to pass it to you, Jose, because I think that we need to keep obviously a context that this has been going on well before Trump came in. Do you feel that this has gone more exasperated since Trump, or is it the same stuff we've been seeing the whole time? Because we know the reactions have changed. We know that people that hate Trump automatically are angry about this, that never said a word about it before with Biden, and maybe that's good that more people are mad. But has anything actually changed at all?
Well, I think that the Zionists have actually gotten more emboldened, honestly. I think that I was doing a table yesterday in Manhattan. We'd go to campuses around New York City to try and get people to come and work on my campaign or volunteer on my campaign, because, the college students are supposedly where it's at. And there was one guy who just came up and he was just like wasting our time, asking us dumb questions like, well, what is a genocide exactly? And then I realized, like, wait a minute. And then it turns out he's a Zionist, right? And we were in what I later found out was a Zionist neighborhood. And he was comparing Palestinians to ants. He said that, well, is it like, if I stomp on a hill of ants, is that a genocide? It's like, oh yeah, really, right? And he's just playing dumb. And I think
They're Arabs, Jose. They're Arabs.
Yeah. So I think that, and then at CCNY here in New York, I think just a week ago there were police pepper spraying students who were trying to do another encampment here.
Wow.
So I think that. Anyways, I watched this documentary by Louis Theroux. I think you guys know which one I'm talking about. The Settlers.
Talking about the Settlers. That's where he goes. They're Arabs. Jeez. Like,
yeah.
What are they entitled to?
Like, I'm so glad someone posted it on X, because I was reposting it. I was quote tweeting it. I was telling people I was watching it, and I was crying out of despair. Yeah. Like this, like Daniela Weiss, is just like pure freaking evil. And the way they treat Palestinians, it's like they're under a Nazi state right now. You can't call it anything other than pure Nazi fascism. of how they're occupying the Palestinians right now. And I think that this sort of mentality has bled more and more into the United States because they feel emboldened about it, is because the right-wing faction, is continuing to pump out this whole like, oh no, Judea belongs to the Jews, and they have a right to be where they are, and it's the Holy Land. I was talking to somebody who told me that they were studying to be a youth pastor, and they reached out because of my video where I was confronting Krugman on the the death of, I was confronting him on the wars, and I mentioned Israel. She's like, it's just, Israel is the Holy Land, but like, how do you hold them accountable and still keep, Judea for the Jews? And it's like, you don't. I mean, you hold them accountable, of course, but you don't just let them take what they think is theirs because the Holy Book happens to say so. There is no God on this planet. There is no God that I know of that would advocate for killing in order to take just some piece of land. So I think here in the United States, the students are actually the ones who are acting out this way are very brave and courageous to be out protesting, period, because a lot of the college students, especially if you're here on a residency or if you're here on a green card, you could be deported at this point. It's insane what's happening here in the United States. We are actually under a fascist government right now. Yeah. We are actually living under fascism. We are in like a Nazi Germany style occupation right now. And I think the college students, the serious ones, know that that's the case. And I think everybody is sort of acting that way. And so there's a lot of fear in the pro-Palestine community and people who are tired of the genocide. At the same time, you have this like incredible intimidation from the Zionist forces that will destroy your life if you even say anything critical of Palestine, of Israel, excuse me.
I don't think we should compare him to Nazi Germany, though, Matt and Jose, because at least the Nazis, right, the Germans, they fixed their economy before they interjected their, white supremacy and everything else. Over here, they're killing us. They're still, everybody's starving out there. So, that's why I think they're failing on, getting more people together. They haven't figured that out, or they're just too greedy to give people a decent standard of living, you know what I'm saying? And think that they'll get aboard the whole, nationalism, fascism kind of like authoritarianism. So I don't even think we should compare them to that Nazi regime, right?
Right.
Economically, they're not the same, at least. Not in my mind.
Look, I like that this documentary got released on Twitter. I put this link here because it was on Suppressed News. They're saying grab this now before it's gone. I don't know how he got this on BBC. He must have this relationship with them enough that they took him seriously enough to just put this thing on BBC. It might be gone soon. So you guys got to grab this whole thing. It's about an hour long. I want to play one more clip because I'm so glad you brought this up, Jose, because we threw this up at the opening on the countdown of the show, but I think this is such an indication, this 1 minute with this woman who's showing you what sociopathic behavior looks like, but she doesn't know it. Obviously, you don't know when you're these things. You think you're just telling what you think, what your priorities are. And she's talking about her family is her priority, but doesn't care about anything else. And that there's a difference. We put our family first, but we also care about children. And the woman in this clip is saying, no, I don't give a goddamn about anybody else. So if you want to understand the psychology, check this out, guys, if you missed this one.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
But you know what? The reason why this show is up there, Matt, is because, like, I was going to say something earlier, that they're rubbing it in our face right now, everything they do, right? How much money they get from us, what they're allowed to do. That famous clip of Netanyahu not knowing that the camera's turned off, with him going, the Americans, they're easy to control. I get them to do whatever I want. Yep. I mean, you go back to the USS Liberty, we can fire on one of their boats and get away with it, right? We can do whatever we want. Beautiful, beautiful Israel. But not only are they pushing in our face, they're also looking for their own kind through giving them their confirmation bias, right? They're looking for people who agree with that woman over there, right? Yeah. So they know who they are and they know who they ain't. And they know when they know who they ain't, that's when they can go after them. Oh, this guy Jose Vega thinks he's going to run for office. No, he ain't. We know who he is. We know where he stands. I mean, look at the Valentina Gomez stuff, for crying out loud. It's like they don't care, right? Like, she runs for office, that woman, right? She don't know shit about anything, and she's got this deluded kind of mentality on stuff, but she could say those things about the Muslim religion right out in front. It's, you know, about pedophilia, it's rape, it's racism and stuff like that. And these people are doing that. And because they're just giving their people that they want to attract the confirmation bias they need. And you see from different people on Twitter all the time. That's why this video will stay up, Matt. If they let it up, they'll stay up, right? When you're wrong, stay wrong. But who cares, right? We'll find out the people who are on our side. Every day they lose more people, but they always gain a little bit. And it seems like a lot of people would go along with Donald Trump, regardless of him being the most Zionist president of all time, even when it comes to situations like this.
You know, before you chime in, Jose, I was just reminded of a previous conversation the three of us had about the attack plan, or there's different ways we go about making ourselves heard and doing what's right. And we have different approaches. We do that. Jose, you're amazing at the disruption. It's awesome what you do. There's just going on platforms and having conversations. What we're doing right now is awesome. What this filmmaker, what he's doing, get his name right. It's Louis Theroux. What he's doing is another approach, which I think, Craig, you might be right about. They won't take it down because his approach is you turn the camera to the person and you let them say the thing. And then you go, really? You just said that. And that's it. That's the way you do it. And then they don't even care that you're putting it out there because you're not giving your explanation about it. You're just letting them do it themselves. And it's so effective. And yet it might be the most effective way to not get censored because, like you said, Craig, they stand behind it. Just point the camera. Let them tell us how horrible it is on their own. And then we just throw it up on Twitter. There you go. That's it. It's done. So I just want to put that out there. But it's just great that this came out. And yeah, people need to share it right now.
You know, I think that what I'm going to do with this campaign, I mean, I have a year and a half to go. We are not going to be afraid to stand up to Zionism. We are not going to be afraid to stand up to the oligarchy because we're not. I mean, we've shown it. I shouldn't be running for Congress. We shouldn't have an office in the Bronx the way we do. We shouldn't have the support base we do, and yet we do. We have it. We have defied all the odds, and I think that we need to think just outside of our box and our bubble. We are actually going to make this a national campaign where not just the people of the Bronx are going to know who I am. You know, a lot of them already do, but the entire country has to know who I am and who my campaign is, and then feel like they have to be a part of that too. Because our campaign, see, I have people in my campaign who wrap themselves in Palestinian flags, and I have people who wear MAGA hats who tell me, you know, I liked Trump, but I don't like this whole deporting thing. I don't believe that we should be giving money to any other country. I certainly don't like Israel, and I don't like its control over the Trump administration. I'm building a movement of people where those two people can feel comfortable being in that part of my campaign, part of the movement. And I would hope that it gets wrapped into the 250th anniversary of the founding of this country. Because you can say whatever you want about the founding fathers. Really, I know they're flawed. One of the people that I represent is Gouverneur Morris, a name that people don't know, who wrote the preamble. You know, we the people of the United States. He wrote that. He's the author of it. He is buried in the Bronx. And he was one of the founding fathers who went to the Constitutional Convention and denounced slavery as a moral stain on the founding of this country if we allowed it to happen. So the Bronx has always been a place of reason and truth. That's where it's going to come from. The poorest congressional district will have a voice of reason and truth through our campaign. And people are going to get inspired by that. And so 2026 will be the year of independence again because we are going to win. I do not intend on losing. And therefore, there will be a voice in the Congress that people will know is not bought by Zionist interests, that they can trust, that does not have a Republican or Democrat name attached to him. And I can only make that happen with the help of you guys and the people watching this now and the people that will watch this.
That's so
knock on a lot of doors.
Yeah.
Sorry, buddy.
No, this is great. There's a movement happening. It takes time. You can't just snap your fingers and have it happen. But I love what you're saying about bringing these people together that are, maybe they were on the Trump side. Maybe they were confused last election. They didn't know what was going on. Now they're more sure, and they're more willing to be in a room with other people that are also feeling like they're sick and tired of the system. And you can have a different hat on. It's okay. It's fine. I love this approach. This is what real populism looks like, by the way, right? This is what it's about, bringing everybody together. We don't have to check every single box of the things we all believe in. We just have to agree on the one thing, is that we have to take on the oligarchy and the APAC capturing of our political system. That's it. And we're all for free speech, and we're all anti-war, and we're all, so these just things that we all actually do agree on. They don't want us to know, but we are figuring it out. So I love that you're doing this, Jose. I'm excited to be supporting and talking about this and being right next to you, man. As much as we can do here on the Homeless Left to support you on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And there's one. So listen, I want to talk about the censorship part. This part's important because
go for it.
This
I got 10 minutes left. Let's do it.
Okay, let's do censorship here. So I'm
gonna let you guys go do this right now, then the two of you, so I don't eat up some of your time and move on.
So, you want to cut out on? You want to see this?
You want to cut out on censorship? Are you self-censoring?
10
Go ahead.
Let's just do it together. We'll
do it together. But I'm gonna let you guys get most of the time since he's on a limit. That's what I'm gonna,
Okay. So here's what we saw. As we learn more about how the censorship machine works, we know that Google and Facebook hiring all these Israeli, spies and people that are going to be controlling our information more than they ever have. We're seeing the head of the Jewish diaspora for Meta. This is Jordana Cutler. She's telling the audience at this Jerusalem event, this summit, that she's helped to implement specific protections for Israelis and Jews, and she's banning content that claims that Zionists run the world and control the media. The irony is insane, but listen to her tell us that we're going to stop you if you tell us the thing that we're doing, and we're going to stop you from doing it. Here it is.
In addition to my work leading the Israel public policy team, I created a new role specifically focused on the Jewish diaspora. It is a privilege to represent Meta to Jewish communities worldwide. I am proud that Meta's commitment to addressing anti-Semitism on our platforms has remained steadfast, especially after October 7th. Our policies are industry-leading in protecting Jewish people and Israelis on our platforms. Our community standards include policies that prevent harassment, violence, and incitement, and include a robust framework to combat anti-Semitism. Our hateful conduct policy includes specific protections for Israelis and Jews. We banned Holocaust denial and distortion back in 2020. We changed industry thinking on this issue, designating denial as hate speech rather than misinformation. It wasn't just about facts, it was about protecting people from harmful conduct. We banned content with harmful stereotypes about Jews, such as the claim that Jews run the world or other major institutions. We updated our policies to recognize that the term Zionist can be used as a proxy for Jews and Israelis. We banned content claiming Zionists run the world or control the media.
That to me, that's the giveaway right there. That's it. We're going to control the media and tell you guys you can't say that we control the media. I mean, what the hell is that? How are you able to say that?
The Muslim Brotherhood says Roseanne Barr runs the media. It's the Muslim Brotherhood, Matt. Please.
You got it wrong. She's smarter than us. I thought I had it figured out, but Roseanne told us we got it wrong, man. I'm so confused here. But what she's saying here, Jose, what she's saying is you can't say we run shit as we're running shit to tell you can't say that. I don't know what that's called. It's irony, that's for sure. But it's pretty pathetic. It's pretty sick that you can say that out loud with a straight face without us going, what the hell did you just say?
Well, this makes me realize that all these years of where they were trying to shove political culture or PC down our throats, and the safe spaces and the safe language and the banning of the certain words, they were softening up or attempting to soften up a population so that they could institute control over language. That's what it was always about, and now that's what's happening right now. This is like a cultural flank that goes back years where they were like, well, we need to police people's language. We need to make sure there's no hate speech. Anti-Semitism is hate speech, and you don't want to be anti-Semitic, right? And so that's what this was all about, because any Democrat, left, liberal in like 2017, if she had said that same thing when PC culture was like at an all-time high, they would be cheering for it. They would be like, yes, exactly. No more hate speech, no more anti-Semitism. But they overplayed their hand because they're committing a slaughter. What's worse than anti-Semitism? Maybe killing children. I don't know. People's phones are full of videos and pictures of blood-stained rubble in Gaza, right? And you're an anti-Semite if you think that's wrong. I was called an anti-Semite because I have a sign that says Richie Torres supports genocide, Jose Vega doesn't. And somebody came up to me and said, that's anti-Semitic. And I said, what's anti-Semitic about it? Is it anti-Semitic to say that Israel's committing a genocide? Yes, because you don't want to listen as to why we have to defend ourselves. And it's like, oh, so genocide's okay if you're defending yourself. And they just get angry with you, and then they just keep calling you an anti-Semite, saying you hate, Jews. And it's like, no. People are so brainwashed now to think that just saying that there's a slaughter of children means you hate Jews. That's the sort of mechanistic brainwashing that they've implemented in people. But now we have to be unafraid to break through it. And I think this next 2 years are the time to do it. I think this year, in the next 6 months, we can do it. It's going to implode. It cannot continue this way. It's just not going to continue this way. So
I like the fact. I'm so sorry. I was just saying, I like the fact that they put it out that, 2017, the way the Democrats kind of weaponized the whole situation, right? Like they were okay with this censorship, whatnot. And, people have to understand, I had a talk with a friend of mine who said that he's trying to say that the people burning on Teslas are domestic terrorists and they should go to jail for that. Populist right guy. I said, were the people at January 6th, are they domestic terrorists? Sidestep the question, wouldn't call them domestic terrorists, but when you do it to one side, you give these people that same type of, power to censor the other side, it's just going to keep going back and forth. And I think Jose made a great point, and I think it'd be part of his campaign about being a free speech absolutist across the board. You'll find Democrats and Republicans who will both agree on that. You know what I'm saying? And, the ones that disagree about it and are cool with one side censoring the other, like a lot of these people on the populist right are okay that people are not getting their due process. You know what I'm saying? No, there's some people in the middle of the road saying, no, that's wrong what they're doing. And you'll be able to find them because that's just the common sense side.
Yeah. That's where we're going. That's who we are going to get to work on this campaign and support us. And I know it's here because I'm on your show right now.
Yeah.
And I'm on JD's show. I'm on the Do Dissident show. I'm on all these different, platforms and programs, where people need a new voice, a voice that they can actually trust. And I don't claim to know everything either, by the way. I'm only 26 years old. If I knew everything, I think I would be suicidal. But you're
not suicidal. You're not suicidal.
I'm not suicidal. I'm not suicidal. So I'm making that very clear.
Virginia Guthrie Vega.
So if you find 4 bullet holes in the back of my skull and they happen to rule it a suicide somehow, you know that there's something fishy with that.
We know that you're very creative at killing yourself, I'd say, with the 4. That's very, very unique way to do it. Anyways, Jose, I feel the energy. I feel the optimism here. I am concerned, though, that you have the difference now than your last campaign is that you have versus Joe Biden being in office and now Trump in office, and he's been pushing these new anti-Semitic laws and these things that are doubling down on the criminal element of even having these discussions. So even though we're having more of them, we're being louder. Do you sense you might have to deal with more like repercussions, maybe even in the legal sense, or any kind of extra threats that you didn't get the first time that you're gonna be up against more than before?
The answer is probably, but I'm ready for it.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm ready for it. I'm not going to back down. They can do whatever they want to me. But you know what? I gave up any attachment I had to material possessions has left my body at this point, And so come what may, I'm not going to stop fighting. They can do whatever they think they need to do to me, and it will only make me stronger. I promise you that.
Yeah.
I love it.
I think that at your rallies and at your talks or wherever you go, we need to just start the old school Jose. I will
drop out. I will shoot you, and I will end my campaign, and that will be how I went out, killing Pasta because he started this cheesy chant.
Dude, it's the people in New York, the Mets fans, the Yankee fans. They know that cheer. I'm telling you, dude. I'm so sorry, but you got to talk to the common day people, and that shit works. You lost all that weight. That works. You got to go with what works, baby.
Okay, well,
Yep.
Okay, all right. Maybe I'll let you talk me into it at some point.
I'm just gonna do it when I'm at one of your rallies or
Yeah,
something. I'm gonna start it up and forget about it. You're gonna be like,
Yeah,
I don't think
Jose.
I don't think you have a choice, Jose. You're just gonna have to deal with it. But
Yep.
Anyways, Jose Vega, thanks for stopping in on the Homeless Left today. Great conversation with you always. We want to keep it going through these next couple years with you. Absolutely. We want to go as far as possible. Side of the people, side of humanity.
absolutely.
Power to the people, all that stuff. So
Thank you for having me on.
absolutely. Okay.
Love you, Jose.